Hello. Okay, so today we're going to be making my famous protein balls that seem to be like an absolute hit with clients as well as my family. So we're going to be making actually two different kinds today. So first off, we're going to do a chocolate natural peanut butter protein ball. So we are going to be using 1.5 cups of oats. Then I'm actually going to be using 2 scoops of banana cream because I don't have actually any chocolate or vanilla on hand. And this is Pure Vitalab's protein powder. So I have 2 scoops of banana cream protein powder because again, these are a protein ball. And then I always use 1/4 cup of honey. So I chose organic honey for these. I like buying like my oats, my honey, my chocolate chips, all that kind of good stuff at Costco. Just because I do make these protein balls almost weekly, if not bi-weekly in mass amounts. So I like having bulk ingredients, and there is a cost saving, so you are still saving a little bit of money in buying bulk. It does occupy a lot of space in your cupboards. I'm thankful because I do have additional storage in my basement with shelving so that I can store a lot of the bulk items downstairs so that they're not occupying space in my kitchen. And then of course I got just the Kirkland brand natural peanut butter. Always use natural. So I'm just gonna scoop that right in there. And the beautiful thing about these protein balls is there's literally no bake time. It's literally just getting your ingredients, putting them in a mixing bowl, and mixing it up, literally. So I'm just gonna scoop all of this. Make sure I get as much of that peanut butter out of there as possible. And then I always I like the dark chocolate. You can get like sugar-free chocolate, whatever works for you. And I do 2 tablespoons of my dark chocolate, put those in there, and I have washed my hands, so I am good to go. And I'm just going to mix this up. It does tend to look a little dry, so sometimes when I get to the end of making these, I will just take a little bit more peanut butter and add it to my mixture just in case so that I can form those last few protein balls. Which is why I left the peanut butter out. So that is the Kirkland brand that I use. And I believe you get 2 of those. I cannot remember, I'm so sorry off the top of my head how much that was, but again, it's from Costco. It's not as expensive. Just gonna get my parchment paper ready here for this set because I am making 48 balls for a client. They seem to be a hit with her entire family. So now, unfortunately, I gotta get my hands right in there. Again, I did cleanse very well. I always wash my hands and use a little scrub brush, everything to make sure that your hands are clean and free under the nails as well. Absolutely want to be mindful of that. Especially after COVID. Do we even talk about that stuff anymore? We really shouldn't, right? So So again, because I have made these so often, I know how much to pretty much make one protein ball. But I always like to say, take like a small spoon and start there and scoop about that much dough and form it into a ball. So I'm just really trying to work this mixture in so that I can get as much of those dry ingredients in there as I can. And then I've got like just a nice batter there. So you could take a smaller spoon. I've got a larger spoon here. Probably need that's about the size of one protein ball. I will include the full macros for these as well too. It ends up being approximately 114 calories per ball. They are wonderful for snack options. My client who I'm making these for is on a lifestyle plan. She tends to have difficulties getting snacks in during the day. She is a CEO in the corporate world, so she is very, very busy. So this was the one way that we could find that she could just pop something in quickly. So as for her snacks per se on lifestyle plan, she ends up having her 3 main meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then she has snack options for morning, afternoon, as well as into the evening, because she likes to have something at night, especially right before bed. So, and that's totally understandable. That's where majority of us find we binge or we're hungry. It's kind of when you're sitting there watching TV and you're like, you just want something. So these are a great substitute just to kind of have a little nibble on something that's yummy without feeling guilty. Because that's the biggest thing about all of this. It's, you know, and that, to be honest with you, like, I know I compete, so I do very restrictive diets. That's not for everybody. And at the end of the day, it's not real life. So it's not even something I can sustain with my life. Like, it's just not possible. So that's why we go into off seasons, and you're supposed to take those breaks, and you're supposed to be a normal person, and you're supposed to put on fat and all of that stuff. So this is what I love about lifestyle, because lifestyle is just teaching people that you can still, you know, have progress, have gains, and live a normal life and make healthy choices and have the treats and all that good stuff in moderation. We just don't consume it all the time, all day long. It has to be in moderation. And especially as we get older, like, I have a few people right now that are dealing with fatty liver and high cholesterol. And I'm like, okay, we're going in our 50s. Like, it's coming. Like, this is where, sorry, I just had to count there. This is where we're going to start having health issues are going to come up and things are happening with our bodies. And we need to be mindful about what we are ingesting and what we're putting in ourselves. We want to live longer lives. We want to be able to be a part of our grandchildren's lives and our kids for that fact. Like, you want to be able to move and function. And especially as we get older, like, we need to be able to live on our own as long as we can and be healthy and be able to move around freely and not be limited to not be able to walk or just function, feel good, have energy, have that sleep quality. It's just so important. And me going back to this client who I'm making these balls for, these protein balls, she's in a highly stressful job. So like it's most important and critical for her to ensure that her diet is on point, because that's what's going to give her energy and sustainable to be able to handle such a high impact job that requires so much cognitive ability and being able to function. So now we have 20 there. We're rolling along so good. Because we only need 4 more. And then we have our chocolate peanut butter protein balls. And again, clients being worried about Thanksgiving coming, and I'm like, you know what? You enjoy it. It's your time with your family. I don't want to see you limiting yourself to not having that quality time with family. You can still do it and be mindful. I like to say too, like, eat the foods that really speak to you, the ones that you're really, really craving or you want to enjoy. So, you know what? Have them. But at the end of the day, it's all in moderation again. So have those foods, but also make sure your hydration is on top and is adequate. And I always say as well too, especially if you're going to dinner at someone's house and you don't want to be like, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And like, you know, I have to because I'm competing. But at the end of the day, like, especially when you're going to in-laws, you don't want to be like, oh no, I'm not going to have your cooking, I gotta have mine or whatnot. Like, you can have things, but just have 1 scoop. You don't need to have copious amounts. Just take a spoonful of all of those things, which will make a decent sized plate. Excuse me. And don't clean up everything on your plate. If you're full, stop. Like, almost stop when you're 80% full, because guaranteed within that 20 minutes, that brain's gonna pick up to that. You are gonna be full. So just be mindful of what that intake is. Like I said, just have 1 scoop of the foods that really, really speak to you. You'll be fine. You'll be in control. Stay hydrated, keep moving, go for a walk, but enjoy your time with your family. Okay, so now we have 24 balls. This is our chocolate peanut butter protein ball. Simple ingredients. Like I said, just half a cup of oatmeal, 1/4 cup of honey, 2 scoops of the protein powder, 1 cup of the natural peanut butter, and then I did 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. Okay, so now moving right along, I'm just gonna move these little guys right on over here, because then I will package these up for my client. And those will get wrapped in a freezer bag for her, because of course it being Thanksgiving weekend, I'm sure that she's going to want to keep some of those for after the weekend. So I'm just gonna move these bowls over here, and then we're gonna get started on our second kind. So these are actually going to be, I call them Almond Joy. So again, we're gonna do 1.5 cups of just those nice Quaker oats. Again, I'm going for 2 scoops of the banana cream PBL Pure Vita Labs protein powder, which I'm in love with this banana cream right now. Can't get enough of it. I have 1 of those a day. My meal 2 is an option of either fish and veg or protein powder and water. So I go for the protein powder and the water. You know, like, I'm good with fish, but I know my coach is going to probably be giving me a lot of fish here coming, a couple more than right now. I have it on twice a day, where I can have, like I said, the protein powder. So I opt just to have it once a day. So I know it's probably going to pick up here soon. So I'm now going for a cup of almond butter, because these ones call for almond butter, not the natural peanut butter. So again, just a little bit of a different flavor. I personally absolutely love almond butter. I find it almost as like dessert to me. The texture is a little wonky, so you really have to be mindful to get to the bottom of your container and really stir that up, because the oil will sit at the top. When you take that lid off, you will notice that. So I'm just gonna get all of this butter in here into this bowl, and I love it. And then for this guy, instead of using the chocolate chips, we are going to be using unsweetened coconut. So that's the difference with this one. So you can use only 1 tablespoon. I'm going to kick 2 in. I like coconut, so we're gonna throw 2 of those in there. And my client actually really enjoys these ones too, so I know that she is A-okay with that. So again, here's our lovely mixture. Almond butter just seems to kind of blend a little bit differently. I'm just gonna take this spoon here though, try to mix up as much of it as I can. Just gonna scoop that off there. Give my hands a quick rinse, even though they're not dirty. I have not touched anything, but I just wanna be mindful. Wash. There we go. And then now I'm gonna get in here. Actually, let me rip my paper first before I do that, because then I'm gonna get in and get dirty here again, because I'm going to actually use my hands, because I want to scoop that batter around like I did that last set. The more you can get this texture mixed together like a dough almost, the easier it will be to form those protein balls. And the prep time for this, like honestly, I think it's longer just getting the items out of the containers than it is actually making the balls. And I can hear my bangle crying, so I'm so sorry. All right, so again, using that same rule, if you want to use the spoon until you get comfortable forming the balls. Again, just that small little protein ball. I'm going for 24 of these as well. I'm thinking my daughter locked the cat in the basement. And my hands are too dirty for me to go and let her out. So I apologize. I will let her out after I'm done this, at the end of this video. Such a different breed of cat, let me tell you. But I love her. She's high maintenance, but do love her. So just rolling right along. Forming these little balls. And I think this is the only cooking I actually have to do today, which is awesome. And I am hosting Thanksgiving dinner this Saturday for my husband's family. So that will be nice. I have not had them for dinner, and oh my goodness, I had my stepdaughter and her partner for dinner a few weeks ago, but that was the first time I had his family for dinner. Oh, it's got to be over 5 years since we've been away, so it'll be nice. I can decorate my table, get all my chargers out, all my nice plates. Now you will find the almond butter does get a little bit drier than the peanut butter. The peanut butter seems to bind a little bit better than the almond butter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. So now we have 18 there. So I just need to do 6 more. And I will throw these in the freezer before I actually go to her place, because I'm training my client in the morning, so I will deliver these to her, but I will freeze them before I go so that they do stay nice and formed. I only need 4 more, but I am going to scoop just a little bit of this, just so I can make these last 4 bind. And sometimes you just have to do that because you get to the end of it. I don't want to just waste this batter. I want to get as much out of it as I can, because I literally just need 2 more. These are hard to keep in my household too. Everybody enjoys them. Our last one. Wonderful. And there we are. Look at that. So I'm just going to move this over. Okay, my friends. So now we have ourselves 24 of the Almond Joy, and we have 24 of the peanut butter chocolate chip protein balls. My client's going to be so very happy. I will deliver these tomorrow morning when I'm training her. She'll be set for her weekend and have her snacks as well as her snackables for next week too. So if you liked this video and you found it helpful, click that like button and share it with anyone you feel you need to. Feel free to do that. And as well, subscribe to my YouTube channel and for more helpful tips from Personology Canada.